Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You'll probably get this one in next week's with me a bit under the weather, but when there's not really much else you can do, you keep on booking and the show must go on. We're here with our double header of pay-per-views. We have Impact's Final Resolution on the Saturday, and then tomorrow night in game, and next week on the channel we will have AEW Crowning Glory. Had a nice wee batch of tapings at the middle of November, which has led up to this event. There's a few things set in stone for tonight. There's a few things that we're looking forward to book into the first event of 2026, which is wild to say that. So we are probably going to see that big confrontation between Josh Alexander and Nick Aldis. But we'll see what we can do here. The ticket pricing is cheap. We don't need to worry about that. I could even have put it down to free to get the people in, because all the money will be made off AEW. Plus, we've got all the boosts in. And the last time they done a Final Resolution, they went with Laredo Kid defeating Nick Aldis for the Impact X Division Championship. So we'll jump in straight away with this week's Impact Final Resolution. Let's go! So because of where we are in the future and the cheap prices, we can attract 22,000 people to the BBVA Stadium for tonight's pay-per-view. So they get eyes on the product. There's roughly about 9 million people watching a week as it airs on the AEW network. Of course, AEW get 33 point whatever in the ratings, so it's quite crazy numbers, but it's only going to get higher and higher as the industry gets a lot more popular. I decided to start off hot, and we had some X Division action, and I opted for the winner of this one to get a future matchup against the X Division champion, whoever that may be at the end of the event. We had a decent matchup. We had Rich Swann defeat the debuting and Carangel Divino, probably butchered that one, Akira Francesco, or Francesco Akira, however you wish to look at it, Desmond Xavier, Adam Brooks and Lee Moriarty in 13:27 when Rich Swann pinned Adam Brooks with the Phoenix Splash. Brooks was a weak link here because he's not over in the States, but he is pretty damn talented. But a 66 performance here sees Rich Swann become your number one contender for the X Division Championship. We then had a small promo with Orange Cassidy, and he says, "Oh, Jacob Fatu wants a challenger. Okay, I'll do it," and then walks away in true Orange Cassidy fashion. So your main event tonight, Orange Cassidy, Jacob Fatu for the Impact World Championship 64. We then had a decent matchup here. They had good heat and decent wrestling, and it saw Richard Holiday defeat Heath in 12 minutes and 1 seconds by pinfall with the 2008. Obviously Holiday's one of these ones that we're really going to give a good push to. I actually don't think he'll be on Impact long. I think if he keeps churning the performances here, then absolutely we can move him on to Carnage and then back to the top two rosters. Overall though, the 68 is pretty encouraging, good rating there. As Heath obviously utilising, putting over younger talents. We then moved along, and Richard Holiday says it's only going to be a matter of time before he goes for the Impact World Championship. As he said, if Impact puts all their faith in the most marketable wrestler in professional wrestling, then he'll be fine. And the fact he's given us a 77 promo means he is going to carry this company from a promo perspective. Next up had the Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line, and it was a decent matchup, which saw Rok-C and Yasmin defeat Alex Gracia and Tessa Blanchard in 10:52 when Rok-C pinned Tessa, meaning new champs in the form of Rok-C and Yasmin. So a 44 storytelling match of the day. To give a wee in-scoop out of this one, obviously Alex Gracia and Tessa Blanchard were champions when I bought the company. I take the belts off them. I don't really plan on doing much with Tessa at all. Just seems she's very toxic in game, and we could argue in reality as well. And it's a bit awkward because she's with Wardlow in this game, but there you go. But as I say, Yasmin's someone I want to give a chance to. Rok-C, we know the talent she's got. She's not really got the greatest stats in this, but a good time in Impact Developmental can help her develop. But a good one here, and they're your new Knockouts Tag Champs. We then had the X Division Championship matchup, which unfortunately has suffered an injury in the form of Trey Miguel taking chronic knee pain. Speaking of injuries, I'll mention the big injury at the end of the show, which obviously we'll touch on in the next video. If you saw it on Twitter a few months ago, there's a bad one. But anyway, good matchup. Ben Carter defeats Trey Miguel in 11:52 with a Phoenix Splash giving him the 4th defence of the X Division Championship. Really, with Ben Carter, I just want to keep putting on bangers, keep helping him deliver, and a 61 obviously hampered with Miguel's chronic knee pain. Thanks, Joe. And Ben Carter's botch means the locker room are not happy with him. Uh-oh. After this one, Ben Carter says, I've went ahead, I've defeated yet another guy. Rich Swan, you can keep coming at me like everybody else in this division, and I'm going to keep on picking up victories. So a 57 for Ben Carter's promo. Next up, we've got a promo, and it is just Daddy Magic Matt Menard and Cool Hands Angelo Parker. Just saying, if anyone else in Impact Wrestling wants a taste as they're about to go into tag team action. That was at 46 for their segment. And it was the Gun Club they faced, and it was about that had a decent reaction from the crowd. Terrible wrestling as the show defeat the Gun Club in 7:38 when Parker pinned Austin with a side Russian leg sweep. So the show, obviously, we need to properly build up. They literally had like mid-20 overness. Obviously, I never really utilised them in AEW, but I really enjoy their work. So they'll get a wee run on Impact, and they can get over, and then they can eventually help develop tag teams. Because even though they're getting over here against the Guns, it's only going to help their development as well. We then had a promo with Chris Hero, and he says he's really excited to have this role in Impact Wrestling. He knows he's effectively a player coach, and he sees a lot of good abilities in Kaito Kaioyama. But he looks at him and says there's a few flaws in his game, and he wants to try and extract that from, extract them out of them, maybe take advantage of them. At the end of the day, he's the teacher, and Kaito is a student. And their matchup was good, and Kaito Kaima defeats Chris Hero in 12:53 with the Tiger Suplex hold. So a 71, great work with these two. I just figured these are the kind of matches you want with Chris Hero. Young talents, put them over, and have some bangers in the process. Because with Kaito, it'll be someone that will be obviously putting on good matches. The promo side of things could be iffy, but there will be some athletes I know that will be predominantly just wrestlers and not so much in the mic department. Speaking of on the mic, we have Bea Priestley. She's recently debuted after signing from WWE, and she just basically says, Chelsea, you've got your title match tonight against Willow Nightingale, and even though there's a lot of things we agree on, just remember, I still would like to become that champion. I want that Knockouts world title. Basically confirming they're both heels, but it's just like, here, just a wee warning sign with the 54 promo. It was a good match here, good heat, decent wrestling as Chelsea defeats Willow Nightingale in 12:14 with the Vampire, making the 6th defence of the Impact Knockouts title. A 62, I'd say that's pretty stellar. I do want to put the title on Willow at one point, whether it'll be straight away or there'll be other challengers. I just feel she's not at the quite level of overness that I liked, but down the line, this division is going to be really competitive. As I say, you get Bea Priestley there, you've also got Shida, Thunder Rosa, Rosemary, Candice LeRae, Gorsain and Isla Dawn. Plenty of people in this division, and eventually Chelsea will just be permanently a fixture on the main roster. We then had a match, it was decent, as Garza Jr. defeated Daichi Hashimoto in 12:55 with the Wine Clipper. 67, this one was basically to give Daichi a bit of a spotlight. He's talented as hell, but he doesn't have the overness. So putting him in there with a good athlete like Garza, who we're looking to push, was only going to be 1-1, but Garza Jr. picks up the win. I give a wee bit of a flaw here where a lot of my guys I'm pushing that are over are on the heel side of the fence, but it leads to a good face turn down the line. We then have an elaborate tag team entrance for our championship match for the belts, as the Legion make their way. I'm really struggling here. 58 with the segment, but as I say, it's going to set up here the Legion, Santos Fantasma and Raul Mendoza taking on the AOP. And their matchup delivers with great heat and good wrestling as the Legion defeated the AOP in 12:02 when Fantasma pinned Slamani after a bridging German suplex. New tag team champions in this one. As I say, AOP was strictly fully a decision made before I applied and got the company, but I just feel like the Legion can put on bangers against the Undisputed, they can put on bangers against the Motor City Machine Guns and the various tag teams. What happens with the AOP going forward? Well, we'll see. If we can make them develop, we might sign them up and move them to the main roster, but they are strictly talents from Impact just now. We then had some good heat and decent wrestling as Josh Alexander defeated Jonah in 14:30 with the Pearl River Plunge. Just to 58 here, Jonah was a bit reluctant to put over Josh Alexander, but this is the whole arc of Josh getting his way and getting his hands on Nick Aldis, and Jonah was the big bodyguard in the way. Honestly, stat-wise, Jonah shouldn't be here too long, but hopefully the victory here, although declining physical ability is not ideal in Josh Alexander, the win is pretty good. We get the post-match kind of stare down, we get the heated confrontation, they're ready, they start brawling with each other, security splits them up, but it means that the January event, which I can't remember the name of at the top of my head, we will see Josh Alexander and Nick Aldis finally go one-on-one, but a 59 rating nonetheless. And that led us to our main event, which I had a wee feeling it was going to be the case, but I wanted to put them together because it could help the overness. In a bit of good heat and decent wrestling, Jacob Fatu defeats Orange Cassidy in 12-24 with a Samoan drop, giving him his 4th defence of the Impact World title. Far too early to take the title off him, so he's just going to rain up a couple of victories. We'll try and get a good contender for him over the month of December for that January show. But overall, we still get the 68, we still get the popularity in every region. Now that's partly because of Richard Holiday's promo, and because of the boosts that we put in, because Murray's obviously not an option. Ideally, I'd love to put the likes of like your X Division matches as main events. Your Kaito Kiyama versus Chris Hero would have been great, but realistically, you have to put your world title as the main event, and that's the way we're going to go. So overall, 68 though, and as I say, we're starting to get a wee rhythm here with Impact Wrestling. But it's time to put that to the side. Next up, your next video will be AEW Crown and Glory, the conclusion of the Brody Lee Tag Team Memorial Cup, the conclusion of the Trios Tournament, and a big angle that is about to go down and change the face of all elite wrestling. Hopefully you'll join us for that one. That'll be, as I say, next Thursday on the channel. But if you do like what you see here, there's plenty more bookers like me about there. You can find them on the Grey Dog Software forums in the booking section and the Fantasy Booker subreddit if you happen to use Reddit. But until next time, take it easy, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye bye.